ماشاءاللہ سلام پیش کریں بحضور جناب فاطمہ زہرا سلام اللہ علیہ برادر محسن رضا.
آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی. آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی. کیا کہوں دل میں خیال کیا کہوں دل میں خیال آتے ہیں کیا کیا یا علی. آج رخصت ہو رہی ہے تم سے زہرا یا علی. ہاں مدینے والوں کو تھا میرا رونا ناگوار. ہاں مدینے والوں کو تھا میرا رونا ناگوار. آج سے ہوگا نہ ان لوگوں کو شکوہ یا علی. دشمنوں کو تم نہ آنے دینا میری لاش پر. دشمنوں کو تم نہ آنے دینا میری لاش پر. پردہ شب میں میری میت اٹھانا یا علی. فاقے کر کے آفتوں سے میں نے پالا ہے انہیں. فاقے کر کے آفتوں سے میں نے پالا ہے انہیں. تم خیال ان کا میری خاطر سے رکھنا یا علی. جانتے ہیں آپ یہ نازوں کا پالا ہے حسین. جانتے ہیں آپ یہ نازوں کا پالا ہے حسین. وہ اگر روئے دلاسا اس کو دینا یا علی. تم کو زحمت ہوگی لیکن میری تسکی کے لیے के लिए मेरी तुरबत पर मेरे बच्चों को लाना या अली। रह गए अपना कलेजा थाम कर मौला अली। रह गए अपना कलेजा थाम कर मौला अली। बोली ज़हरा जब खुदा हाफिज तुम्हारा या अली। आज रुखसत हो रही है तुमसे ज़हरा या अली। मोहम्मद व मोहम्मद
brother Riyaz Hasni and brother Mesam Raza would like to give you an update on Yemen situation, inshallah.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Please recite another long psalm.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Dear respected Sheikh, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
So we are here today to talk about Yemen. Full of folks from the Bay Area. We created a group called ihelpyemen.org, and our main goals are create awareness, provide humanitarian support, and stop the war at Yemen. As you know, Yemen is in a dire situation right now because of the war and the things going on. So we have taken guidance from Sheikh Sayyid Hadi Yasin and Maulana Abdi and how to move forward. So what we have done so far is we have run a few campaigns all over the various centers. So in order to create the awareness and education, mashallah, all the alims has spoken about the situation in Yemen, and as well as we have run the petition, asked the folks to sign the petition. That helped quite a bit to raise the awareness. The other goal we had is providing the humanitarian support. For that, we have aligned ourselves with the Zahra Trust. It's a non-profit organization. They've been working in Yemen on ground, helping Sadat and Shias mainly, providing the support in terms of food, water, vaccination, and the blankets and anything that is necessary on the ground right now. Our main goal, what we have done so far is to stop the war. We have created an alliance with local organizations, anti-war organizations, Peace for Justice, and other Bay Area organizations to basically invite political figures like congressmen and senators, and talk to them, and basically created advocacy group to push for the stop the war, if we can pass the resolution. So this is just one of the flyers that we have created, and this is some of the things that we have raised funds for, as you can see that blankets and in the winter, food parcels, water aid, and cholera vaccination. So a couple of weeks back, we have did the fundraising in the Bay Area, and where we invited Sheikh Bilal Hussain. He came over and he talked with a few folks. He did the presentation, and alhamdulillah, with the blessings of Allah and Al-Bad, we were able to raise about 20K. So with that, inshallah, we'll be able to provide vaccination for 150 plus kids, you know. Please recite aloud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
So this is just a video we got from Zahra Trust, you know. This is the update that we provided.
نقوم بزيارة إحدى المنازل الأسر الفقيرة.
Okay, so in this case, we are not, sorry, can you hear me? Okay, so in this case, we are not asking you to support any particular person on any party, but just to highlight that he's one of the Bay Area politician, Rokhanna, and he's in favor in Yemen, and he's doing quite a bit to stop the Saudi funding and things like that. So please support the cause. You know, it's up to you who do you support. So we are not asking you to support him as a political person or and whatnot, but some of the things he's doing to stop the support, U.S. support to Saudi Arabia, you know, and which will entail help stop the war, you know, because of all the atrocities are committed, you know, during the war. And as you know, as per UN and World Health Organization, only this year, almost 500 kids will die in Yemen because of the situation, you know. So we really need to do something about that. And with that, Yemen still needs you. We are here. If you have any questions, if you want to volunteer, if you want to support in any way you can. As you know, as I'm sure all of you know, it's our religious duty to, you know, to make sure that we rise against the atrocities committed around the world, you know. So if you have any questions, you know, you're always welcome to, you know, Nisan is here, I'm here, you know, and of course Sheikh is here, you know, so you can reach us and let us know if you like to contribute or volunteer or help the cause, you know. And we have sadaqah boxes, you know, they're outside, you can grab one, you can send it, once it's filled, you can send it by yourself, or you can give it to us and then you can do that. Jazakallah khair. Please recite aloud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you, brother, for raising the concern about the situation in Yemen. May Allah bless you. Please recite aloud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Brother Turam Nazar and sisters Sabah Nazar requested to offer Vaishat-e-Qabr for Sabah Nazar's father tonight. So you can offer the Vaishat-e-Qabr till the Fajr time, inshallah. But do offer the Vaishat-e-Qabr. Brother Nazar Turam has helped us a lot, and we owe a little favor to him, just to offer 2 rakat namaz Vaishat-e-Qabr. And his name is Marhum Sayyid Munir Hussain, son of Sayyid Zakir Hussain. Munir Hussain, son of Zakir Hussain. I'll now request Hujjatul Islam, Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin, who will address the last majlis for the shahadat of Janabe Sayyida Salamullah Alaiha. Baraye khushudiye Janabe Sayyida Salamullah Alaiha, please recite a loud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Nare salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina wa nabiyyina habib qulubina wa tabib nufusina wa shafi' dhunubina al-qasim al-mustafa Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الحمد لله رب الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليك يا ممتحنة امتحنك الله الذي خلقك قبل أن يخلقك وجعلك بامتحانك صابرا. السلام عليك أيتها الصغيرة الشديدة. السلام عليك أيتها المظلومة المقصودة الحقيقة. Our condolences on the martyrdom of Sayyidatun Nisa al-Alamin, the best of all women of the whole world, other world. First and foremost to the Imam of our time, Imam of Asr, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
You all remain in Muhammad, inshaAllah, who will be among the true followers and Shia of Zahra, inshaAllah. I heard that we have few new little members for the community, little babies. Alhamdulillah, they are attending the majalis. So we'll pray for all of them, and we pray that Allah, inshallah, make them adornment and zina for Islam, and inshallah they will always be on the path of Islam and Ahlul Bayt, inshallah. Bilal salawat ala Muhammad wa ala
Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great ni'mah and opportunity that He bestowed us, that we can sit in the majlis of the only daughter of the best of all prophets, Sayyida Zahra. This is indeed tawfiq for us. We mentioned that the story, the whole topic of Fatimiyya, it is the core belief that we have in Islam. We prove that anything happened to Sayyida Zahra can question any part of the beliefs of Muslim, not just Shia. The role that she had in the whole history of Islam, the whole she had to support Islam and the Maktab of Ahlul Bayt, alayhi salatu wassalam, it's something that no one can deny, specifically the words that Rasulullah himself, he said to support Sayyida Zahra sallallahu alayha. In terms of the dignity and the greatness and the honor that she had It's enough to see that, as we mentioned, among all these stars, there's only one lady that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purposely, He Himself is praising her. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He Himself is praising Sayyidah Zahra. Bahar al-Anwar, volume 43, page 44, the hadith is saying that أَوَّلُ شَخْصٍ تَدْخُلُ الْجَنَّةِ فَاطِمَةٌ. We have 124,000 prophets, a lot of awliya, friends of Allah, a lot of people, successors of the prophets. The hadith is saying the first person that will enter heaven is Sayyidah Fatima. There are some reasons behind these traditions. There are some reasons that Rasulullah himself and Ahlul Bayt keep talking about this lady. They keep promoting the topic of Sayyidah Fatima. They keep talking about the Shahada of Sayyidah Zahra. Well, throughout the life of Rasulullah himself, keep telling people about her and her greatness. And correlating the hope and the muhabbat of Sayyidah Zahra and Amir al-Mu'min to the actual belief that Muslims should believe in it. That is why when you study, you see that anything happened after the Shahada of Zahra Sayyidah Zahra is because of the Shahada of Sayyidah Zahra. Any of the other Shahada, any of the martyrdoms that happened, it's because they could kill Sayyidah Zahra. Because when it comes to other Imams, they try to connect them to Imam Ali. So as you know, they're okay. Many times, Bani Umayyah, Bani Abbas, they keep saying that, why you keep calling to Imams? Why you keep calling yourself the son of Rasulullah? No, you're not son of, you're son of Imam, you're son of Ali. They want to cut this relationship. Why? Because if we agree that you are the son of Rasulullah, you're the son of Fatima, son of Rasulullah, then we can disrespect you, then we cannot kill you, then we cannot occupy your rights. But you're not, if you're not directly related to Rasulullah, we can say, oh no, something else. That is why Fatimiyya is the mother of Ashura. If you want to see which one is more important, Ashura or Fatimiyya, which one is more important? Fatimiyya. Fatimiyya happened, that's why Ashura happened. Which unfortunately, it's not there yet. People don't get it, the importance of Fatimiyya. Alhamdulillah, recently our Maraja in Qom in Mashhad, the day of the Shahada of Sayyidah Zahra, they go out in the streets, they have mokibs, barefoot al-Maraja walking in the street to show the awareness, bring the awareness and to show the respect of this ayam, this day's Fatimiyya. That is why no one denies what happened in Ashura. Yeah, they justify it. You know, Imam Hussein did this because of dunya. They know how to alternate the story. But they deny what? Fatimiyya. They deny Fatimiyya because they cannot justify what was the reason that this happens. That's why originally they tried to deny it, and they bring a lot of questions and shubahats and doubts into the whole story of Fatimiyya. And as a Shia, every single of us, we have to be aware of these doubts that they bring into the whole topic of Fatimiyya. As we said, this is not a discussion about a historical event happened at that time. This is something related to our whole belief as Shia, as Muslim. In our schools, in our Sunday schools, we have to review children. They have to know how to answer this shubhat and these doubts and these questions. Why Imam Ali, he didn't go open the door? Why Sayyidah Zahra, she went open the door? Why Amir al-Mu'minin didn't do anything? Why? I mean, if someone asks, I don't know how many of us we can answer. Why Sayyidah Zahra open the door? First of all, it was not the it was not only one time they came to the house of Amir al-Mu'minin to take him to masjid for the oath of allegiance. Few times that guy sent his servant, 1/4, his slave, to go and bring Ali. Few times, and each time Amir al-Mu'minin is going, he says, I'm not coming with you guys, I don't agree with you guys. And the last time, after a few times that they're coming, the last time says, let me go try to see what they want. And imagine something happened, you want to take care of it, your wife says, let me see if I can help. So that was not the first time. Second reason, everybody believed in the respect of Sayyidah Zahra. They knew if Zahra, she comes, everybody has to respect her. They didn't respect Amir al-Mu'minin as much as respected because of that connection, because of all. Up until today, they don't know how to answer this. If you bother Zahra bothers me, they don't know how to answer this. So they try to deny the whole thing. Sayyidah she went to, well, what do you want? You did all these things. What else do you want from us? Third, it happens many times throughout the history that it happens that Rasulullah himself, he was in the house and he was asking his wives to go. One time Aisha, one time Salama, one time, Sayyidah Khadija, al-Mu'minin, he told them to go open the door. So it was not just specifically for this time that happened. Third, the whole story here, what happened, it is something that up until today, almost 1400 years, they can't justify what happened. Remember last night it says, وَمَكَرُوا مَكَرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They didn't want this to happen. Let me tell you what. They occupied the Khilafah, but they didn't want the Shahada of Zahra happen. Because they knew they can't fix it, they can't justify it. Why this happen? This is one of the plans that if you want. Muawiyah, he ordered his son, Yazid says, do not fight with Hussein. Two people, bin Zubayr, the son of Zubayr, and Hussein. If you get into the fight with them, you're going to be destroyed. He was very cunning. So they knew what to do. You want to destroy Islam, but look what happened. Where they are and where is Imam Hussein and the Maktab of Imam Hussein today. That is why that the whole event of Fatimiyya happened, and the only solution they have is to deny the whole thing. I want to ask our brothers, any time during the year, do you mention, okay, the wafat and the demise of Rasulullah, okay, so you just probably mentioned his name. But the most important person, after Rasulullah, is his wife, according to his daughter, according to the traditions. But any name about Sayyidah Zahra, any name, forget about the Shahada. Anytime do you talk about this lady or not? Throughout the whole year that you have centers and you have everything. It's a very fair question, right?
MashaAllah.
One of the, 2 weeks ago, I had one of the young people came to my office here. One of the Ahlul Sunnah brother came. He had a lot of questions about Shia. Alhamdulillah, it was a great session. He said, I grew up not knowing anything about the daughter of Rasulullah. We didn't know anything of this. Another brother somewhere else in LA told me, a sister came, she converted to Shia, says, we didn't even know that he has a daughter. We didn't even know that, the only thing we know is just a few names that they told us. At least as a daughter of Rasulullah, why don't we talk about it? Why don't we say that this things happen? Well, the books are saying, the books about Hussein are saying, says also she was 27 or 28 years old, passed away 6 months after the demise of Rasulullah with a natural death. Regular. There's nothing, no report that says she was sick or something happened. Why? At this age is the best time that a lady should be healthy. The 6 months after that passes away quickly, right? Ibn Abi al-Hadid, one of the greatest scholars of Ahlul Sunnah, in the book Al-Imamah wa Siyasah, He's saying that he has a description for this book. He's saying that she was upset with what happened after the demise of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. She was upset over occupying the Khilafah. It's not from source of Shia. Sahih Bukhari. You all heard about this, right? Sahih Bukhari. The most important, Bukhari and Muslim, the most important books after Quran. Like I said always, this is an academic discussion. With all due respect, we're just bringing the proofs. Volume 3, page 1126, Hadith 2926, Bab Fard al-Khums. فغضبت فاطمة بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فهجرت أبا بكر فلم تزل مهاجرته حتى توفيت. Fatima was upset and angry with the first caliph and turned away from him. Means that she didn't accept him, and she was upset with him until she passed away. If they're trying to say no, nothing happened. Sahih Bukhari, Kitab al-Maghadi, Bab Ghadwa Khaybar, Hadith 3998. فوجدت فاطمة على أبي بكر في ذلك فهجرته فلم تكلمه حتى توفيت. Fatima was upset and angry with the first caliph and didn't talk to him until she passed away. Nothing happened. Everything was okay. Everything was fine. Everybody was so nice together. Then why she said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, wash my body at night. غسلني بالليل. Bury me at night. دفني بالليل. Imagine today someone comes and tell the family members in our community, not during the day, at night when everybody's asleep, I want you to take care of my dafn and post and everything at night. What does he tell you? Something is not normal. Something is not going on. Because everybody should come to the funeral. Just a simple moment. Imagine a simple member of the community. A moment, the whole community goes. We send email, we tell people to do, you just heard Salat al-Wahshar. It is a simple moment. Not daughter of Rasulullah. Bad'atun minni. Not most khayrun nisa al-alamin. Not the most important and the best of all women in both worlds. Not her. Not the only daughter of Rasulullah. Not the one that Rasulullah says, I smell heaven from her. Not that every single time he's praising her. Then why at night? No, say Shia, they said this is happened at night. No. Sahih Bukhari, volume 4, page 1549, hadith 3998, Kitab Maghadi Bab Qadwa Khaybar. عاشت بعد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم 6 أشهر. She lived after Rasulullah 6 months after the demise of Rasulullah. فلما توفيت دفنها زوجها علي ليلا ولم يؤذن أبيها أبا بكر وصلى عليها. When she passed away, her husband Ali buried her at night and did not tell the first caliph, and he prayed the Salat Mayyit for her. Amir al-Mu'min. Usually when you have a leader in the community, who would recite Salat? Who? Tell me, who would recite? The leader. The leader. It's a disrespect for the leader that someone else will go pray. When you have the Khalifa, it's a disrespect. Rasulullah is there, Rasulullah will pray. That's it. When Rasulullah is not there, who will do it? The successor of Rasulullah. Why everyone? No one knew what happened that night. They buried Sayyidah Zahra something like how. And the day after that they came, where is it? Oh, they heard, oh, she's already buried. And they did their best to force Amir al-Mu'min to tell them where she was buried. This is an aqidah. This is a belief that we have to be able to defend. If this is it goes under question, the whole everything else, the salat, the homes and jihad, the principle of Islam, furu'adin, usuladin, everything will be under the question. That's why it's so important. We're sitting here for what? We're crying for the musibah of what? For the musibah of Islam, for the musibah of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, chapter 24 to ayah 27. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la tadkhulu buyutan ghayra buyutikum hatta tasta'zinu. Do not enter any house except your house unless you have the permission to enter. Did they have the permission? By burning the door? By kicking the door? This is ayah Quran. Do not enter into the house of anyone except you have the permission to. Forget about the house of Wahi, forget about the house of Rasulullah, the house of Fatima. Any single house, do not enter unless you what? You have the ijazah, you have the permission to enter. Why did you enter? Against Quran. No? يا أيها الذين آمنوا another surah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوت النبي إلا أن يؤذن لكم. Do not enter the house of Rasulullah, the house of Nabi, except you have the permission. Rasulullah says the house of Zahra is my house. Ayah of Quran says في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه. There are some houses that Allah gave permission that He should be exalted in those houses. Like the masjid, right? Specifically the haram of Ahlul Bayt. When Rasulullah said this ayah, everybody was sitting. It says, it's talking about the house of Rasulullah, right? And the first caliph was there. This one book about the Sunnah. The first caliph was there, and he said, is this house part of it? It was referring to house of? Says Rasulullah says, Na'am wa afdalu. Yes, and this is the most important house among all my house. It says, do not enter this house without permission, right? If you are going without a permission, it's against Quran. Suyuti is one of the greatest Ahl Sunnah scholars, very famous. Durul Mansur, his book, volume 5, page 50, he says the house of Zahra is the house of Rasulullah. So why you enter the house without permission? Next, doubts. Why Amir did nothing when that happened? Why he didn't do anything? Matter of fact, he did. He grabbed that guy, that you know him. When he came to the house, Amir al-Mu'minin got his collar here. He pulled him up and he hit him to the ground. He says, you know me. You saw me in Khaybar. You saw me in all these wars. You know what I can do. Wallahi, if it was not because what Rasulullah told me. The way that he put him down, that it hurt or broke his nose. And he was bleeding. If it was not because of the wasiyat of Rasulullah, you knew what I can do. Then of course they jumped and they grabbed the sword of Amir al-Mu'minin and the whole thing. And then they put Amir al-Mu'minin in chain. They're pulling him towards masjid. I told this before to you. There was a Yahudi of Khaybar over there. Yahudi of Khaybar at that time. As soon as he saw them pulling Amir al-Mu'minin, he's going with them. He said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. He told me, what happened? Are you crazy? What happened? You're Yahudi. You didn't become Muslim and Rasulullah was here. Now you become Muslim? He says, yes, there is a reason why. He said, I saw this man in Khaybar. He pulled out the door of Khaybar that no one could do. 10 and 10 of men, they could not do it. I know that just breaking this chain is simple for him. I know he can't do it. When he's not doing it, I know he's doing sabr. It's something going on with this. Pulling Amir al-Mu'minin to masjid to do. And then go to the whole story of, yeah, the guy brought the fire to lit the house on fire, and then says, no, he didn't do it. And let's see what other justification they have. And they don't know what else to do to justify it or to deny it. They said, by the way, at that time, the houses in Medina, they didn't have any doors. So Shia are making it all up. You know, the house of Medina didn't have any door. It was all curtain. Then ayah of Quran saying that you have to lock the doors. Ayah of Quran. And they don't know what else to do. They have to somehow justify everything. Right? You know that this doesn't happen. Okay. But the reality is clear. Upon until today, Zahra, she's defending haqq. But no one knows where is the grave of Sayyidah Zahra today. Imagine. The only daughter of Rasulullah, no one knows where is the grave of Rasulullah. That's the only thing no one can have any answers for. That was the first part, and I wanted to tell you that we need to do more research about these things. We need to be updated. We need to have the information about the shubahat. But let's go internally, talk about a little bit about the personality of Sayyidah Zahra. One of the, as I always say, life of these stars, from the beginning to the end, are what? Are lessons for us. One of the most important title that Sayyidah Zahra she has is what? Ummi Abiha. The only one who had this tawfiq to have this title is Sayyidah Zahra, the mother of her own father. Think about this. What does it mean? The mother of her own father. That means what she did for her father was equal to what a mother would do for the child. Just imagine what your mother did for you. How much she respected her father to the level that Rasulullah says, Ummi Abiha, the mother of her father. How much passion and love she had towards Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that she had this title that Rasulullah told her. That shows us one thing from the lifestyle of Sayyidah Zahra, and that is about if she became Sayyidah Zahra because she followed Islam and recommendations of Islam totally, the whole recommendations. One of the most important recommendations was how to treat your parents. How you should be with your parents. How nice you should be be with your parents. Hadith, Man sarrahu an yamutta fi umrih. The one who wants to have a long life, وَيَزْدَادُ فِي رِزْقِهِ, and he wants or she wants to have a great rizq and sustenance, فَلْيَبُرْ وَالِدَيْهِ. Be nice to parents. No, someone cannot say, I'm the follower of Islam, I'm the follower of, Ahlul Bayt, and I'm not following this aspect, which is so important, and a lot of recommendations, like I said, we have here. Ayatollah Baha'u'ddin says that anyone who is successful in this world, specifically in the path of Iman, one of the most important aspects that you see among all the actions they have is the dua of parents for them. If you see someone is not successful, among the factors that associated to their failure, one of the most important things is that what? Parents were upset with them. Something were going on with them and with parents. Mirza Jawad Agha Maliki Tabrizi, one of the greatest Maharaja that we had recently passed away, one of the Urafa. Someone came to him and says, I have some financial issues. Can you please pray for me? He told him that recite this dua in Qur'an that we say all the time. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana. He says, recite this as many as possible during the day. He said, all right. He went 4 or 5 months after that he came, and he said that nothing changed. The first thing that Mr. Jawad Tabrizi asked him is that, do you have issue with your parents? He said, little bit problem with my father. Little problem with him. We had a business together. He's just a little bit upset with me. Mr. Jawad says, that's the problem. Go fix it. Until then, none of your dua will be accepted. None of your dua will be accepted unless you fix this. Dua, what you said, Allahumma aghfir li al-dhunuba allati tahbisu ad-dua. There's some issues, there's some sins would imprison your dua. You do your best, you're in the best school, you're in the best job. Whatever you do, either your parents are alive or dead, doesn't matter, they passed away. If they're alive, you have the opportunity to go fix it. If they are not in this dunya, may Allah inshallah bless them, but you still have to go fix it somehow. It doesn't mean that's over. You still have to go fix it somehow. We heard a lot of stories about this. Shaykh Abbas al-Qurmi, Manazir al-Akhirah, says, at the time of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala
محمد وآل
He said,
محمد.
you heard about this story, a lady, there was a young person who was passing away at the time of ihtizar, during the last moments of his life. Rasulullah went to him and says, whatever Rasulullah was telling him to repeat, the shahadatain, he was not able to say it. Rasulullah is there to tell him what to do, and he's not able to repeat after Rasulullah. Rasulullah looked around, saw a very old lady in the corner of the house. He says, are you the mother? He says, yes. He says, what's going on between you two? He cannot say the shahadatain, something is going on here. She said, yeah, 6 years he didn't talk to me. Rasulullah says, but that's not a moment, it's a very dangerous moment. He's just, the last moment, you have to. And she said, you are the Rasulullah, because of you and for the sake of you and Allah, forgive him. When he said that, before Rasulullah asked the guy, the one who was passing away, he says, what do you see? He says, 2 angels of azab I see are coming towards me. As soon as mother says, okay, I'm satisfied with it, that's when I forgive him, he said, Rasulullah, they're gone. Then Rasulullah says, recite this dua. Remember this dua. Ya man yaqbalu al-yasir wa ya'fu an al-kathir. Iqbal man al-yasir wa ya'fu an al-kathir innaka antal ghafurur rahim. He said that, and he said that dua and everything to the end of the passage. There's certain reasons about. In Islam we have this, in our fiqh. There are 3 things that you have to observe, even though you're dealing with a non-Muslim. Doesn't matter. Number 1, wafa ba'ahd. If you promise someone, doesn't matter if you are, as long as it's not haram. If you promise, you have to fulfill that. Second, ada'ul amana. If you have a trust from someone, they gave you something, even if they're not Muslim, even atheists, you have to give it back to them. Third, wabil walidaini ihsana walau kafirain. Even if parents are kafir, mushrik, atheists, you have to follow, you have to obey them. Not to follow against Islam, but you have to respect them. You can't disrespect them. وَلَوْ كَانَ مُشْرِكَيْن. Even if they're atheists. It's very clear here, right? When they tell you to go against Allah, no. Because between Allah and any other relationships, first Allah, right? But anyhow, you have to respect them. In any of, look at the Quran, anywhere in the Quran, they're talking about, Anbiya, one of the most important characteristics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned for them is that what? They were nice to their parents. If they're alive, let me tell you what, the time is very short. The time is very short that we don't have enough time to say that I have issue with some of my family members, my parents, until they come and fix it. It's so short, you don't know tomorrow if you are alive or they're alive. So you better fix it as soon as possible. And if they passed away, you're responsible towards how you were, what you did. And the razaya and satisfaction of them are important for your success in life today, even if they pass away. That's why we keep saying, send dua and zikr for your parents. Your amal, good or bad, would affect them over there. Specifically good amal. You do something khair, you be a nice person, you be a good mu'min, they'll be rewarded over there. Not that, my parents are in Pakistan, India, Iran, Afghanistan, somewhere else. Once a month I called them and I told them how you feel. 2 of our scholars are Marajan. They were studying together, very nicely, everything together, the same, progression they had in the knowledge and everything, studied together. One of them became Marja A'zam, a great scholar, a great, Marja. Another one was not as famous. One day he went to his house and asked him, what happened? We were studying together. We were doing everything together. It was not because you knew better than me. And the knowledge is the same. Why you got to this level and I'm not? He said, you know what? Let me tell you what. Because how I was respecting my parents. He said, what do you do? He says, one day my mom told me to go wake my dad up. He was sleeping. He says, you have to wake him up. I went to wake him up. I saw he's asleep and I couldn't wake him up. I started kissing his foot. And kissing and kissing and kissing until he wakes up. When he woke up, he says, what are you doing? He says, I can't wake you up, so I know you're sleeping. I can't even do it, so that's why we're just kissing your foot. So you wake up yourself. Humiliation in front of parents. Islam is that, yes, we should have communication, we should talk nicely, all these things are important, but if you want, one of them too is, a shortcut towards success is what? A shortcut towards success is the dua of your parents, specifically mothers. You heard about this. Someone came to Rasulullah, says, you know, I have a haja or something. Rasulullah says, first be nice to your mom, second be nice to your mom, third be nice to your mom, and then be nice to your dad. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be nice to your dad. That shows the importance of, don't get tired. This is the sunnah of Zahra, Sayyidah Zahra. If you have any issue in your life right now, your school, job, family issue, something is going on, look at your relationship with your parents. Maybe internally, maybe in reality, the external relationship with them. Anyhow. Ummi Abiha, the mother of her father. This is the sunnah of Sayyidah Zahra. That how should, not just because they are, you know, Rasulullah or Sayyidah Khadija, no. This is the sunnah they have to follow. And go on and on. Take this example in many other aspects of her life. Her ibadah, how much she was, as I said, you know, when you look at her life from all aspects, she's the greatest. Being in a society, the reason of the society, when she's praying, Imam Hassan says, I saw that my mother, the whole night she's praying. But the whole night she was praying for the neighbors. In the morning when she was done with the prayer, I asked her, you know, Mom, but you never pray for us at all. Look at the parenting. Parenting is style, huh? He's teaching. Remember last night I said, the reason we have Imam Hassan and Hussein, because they were trained mostly by who? By their mother. Because Amir al-Mu'minin mostly outside. It's either taking care of this and that, or, you know, in the gardens, or in a war, or somewhere else. Who is training these little children? Sayyidah Zahra, the mother. Huh? Why, Mom, you never pray for us? She said, Ajjar thumma dar. First pray for others, then Allah would accept the dua that you have for others, for yourself as well. Because when you pray for others, Allah will definitely accept it. And then Allah says, because you prayed for them. It's being the president of the society. She had many educational sessions, the classes in Medina. Women in Medina were going to the tafsir of Sayyidah Zahra during the day. She was active in the society. She was active in Islam. In the war, Ghazwa Uhud, she was part of those women that didn't live. Rasulullah, when they heard that what happened, they went to help. Majruhin, all those were injured. She went to help in the war even at that time. In a society, as a mother, as a wife, I don't know. Any aspects. Taqwa, Sayyidah Zahra, look. That she donated a dressing gown, the wedding gown to what? The wedding gown. At the night of the wedding, she gave it to what? To a poor person who came and asked. The way that they were looking at this dunya was different than us. The same style, the same look that Sayyidah Zainab, she said, what ma ra'aytu illa jamila. The reason that it was easy for them to do, because their world view was different than us. They practiced this, by the way. They practiced this. They were looking at this world, something very temporary. Imagine you have a glass of water and someone says, can you give it to me, please? It's not that big deal. Can you give it to me, Allah, please? The world view were different. Let me finish with this. Imam Zahra or Imam Zahra, they were passing. They were passing the street and they saw one of their Shia, one of their close friends. He's having some construction, remodeling, and he's making a window in the wall in his house. Imam was in the street, asked him, what are you doing over there? He said, you know, Ya Rasulullah, I'm making a window in my kitchen So when I'm cooking, the smoke goes out. They didn't have oven right today, right? They had to put, the actual fire. So it was a smoke. So I'm making a window, so the fire goes, the smoke goes out. He saw that the mom is upset. So, excuse me, did I say anything bad, wrong? Why are you upset with me? That's really done. The mom says, I wished you could say, I'm making a window here, so when it's the time of azan, I can look at the sky to see if it's the time of azan or not. Of course, the smoke goes out as well. The way that you look at what you do in this world is important. I'm going to train my children. What are your intentions? I'm going to get married. What is your intention? I'm going to start this job. What is your intention? I'm going to help this person or that person. What is your intention? By the way, he told to this very important Shia, not just everybody. Change your intention, change your worldview, things will change. Things will change. Therefore, inshallah, what is the most important for us here is to follow the lifestyle of Sayyidah Zahra. And you know my view and all the time says, each time, each majlis, let's have a promise. Let's find a deficiency. Each time is the time of Vida, the time of Shahada. Find a deficiency within ourselves. We're sitting in the majlis of Sayyidah Zahra. What is the thing? What if I had the tawfiq to be sitting in front of Sayyidah Zahra tonight? Close your eyes. If I was sitting in the majlis in front of Sayyidah Zahra and I asked her to advise me, Sayyidah Zahra, can you advise me for something? What would be the advice that she was telling me? What would be expectations? Instead, she was looking at me, she says, inshallah, she would have said, I'm proud of you that you're in my majlis, that you have the muhabbat of us, but I want you to fix that. What would be that part? I can't make it more practical than this. If she was in front of me, what would be the request of Sayyidah Zahra? May Allah bless you all for being in the majlis by the name of your mother Zahra sallallahu alayha, respecting her. Our youth, younger friends, older ones, being in the majlis to respect their mother Zahra sallallahu alayha. Of course, mothers are very kind and passionate towards their children. They're different than others. They're different than fathers, different than other people. When you do a little bit for your mother, she will always remember, and she always look for a way to compensate you more and more and more. Ya Zahra, look at these brothers and sisters in this region, far away from any Islamic states, any Islamic countries, in the majlis for you, the Ayyam of Fatimiyya, they are together. Ya Zahra, you are the mother of this ummah and these people. Take a look at all of them. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum wal an a'da'ahum ajma'een. One of the reasons that Shia burns in the musibat of Sayyidah Zahra, there are a few points I want to mention. You can turn off the lights if you want. There are a few points that are so important for Shia. Number one is that Zahra was the only daughter of Rasulullah that they killed her. If Rasulullah had many other daughters, and they killed only Zahra, it wouldn't be as bad as what happened to Sayyidah Zahra sallallahu alayhi. The second was that Zahra sallallahu alayhi, she was pregnant and they killed her when she was pregnant. If she was not pregnant, it was not as bad as what happened. The other reason that we cannot forget about this musibah is that they killed her by kicking the door and by kicking her between the door and the wall. If they were killing him by sword, it was not as bad as what happened between the door and the wall. If the children of Zahra, Imam Hassan, 5-6 years old, was not in the alleys of Medina when they slapped his mother Zahra Salamullahi alayha, it was not as bad as what happened to Sayyid Zahra Salamullahi alayha. You see that these mal'oons, may Allah curse all of them, these people did in the worst way that you cannot possibly even imagine. In the worst part they did this, the worst time they did this. After the demise of Rasulullah, let me tell you some stories that inshallah breaks your heart. After the demise of Rasulullah, Zahra Salaam alayha, they occupied her rights. She was crying the whole days and nights. People of Medina came to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Ali, go tell your wife, either cry during the day or at night. She's bothering us. Now that Zahra is already buried, people of Medina, don't worry about that. You're not going to hear voice of Zahra anymore. You're not going to be bothered with that anymore. One day they narrate Amir al-Mu'mineen entered the house. Sayyidah Zahra, before the Yawm al-Fatimi or anything, she saw that Zahra, she's flossing her tooth with a piece of wood that she had. That piece of wood break the gum of Zahra and was bleeding. That was a nice poetry. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, you're so, he's talking to that piece of wood, you're so there that in front of Ali you're making Zahra bleed in front of me. How dare you are that you're doing this. The same Ali in the alleys of Medina, he's seeing what happened to his wife, and he has to, because of Islam, he has to tolerate what happened to his wife Zahra Salamullahi alayha. Assalamu alayki ya Fatima az-Zahra ya bint Rasulillah ya Zahra Salamullahi alayha. You know, one day before the Shahada, day of the Shahada of Zahra Salamullahi alayha, she got some energy. She started, cooking. She started cleaning the house. Everybody thought, Alhamdulillah, the mother is getting better, not knowing that tomorrow Zahra would become Shaheeda. Imagine when little children, they see their mothers is sick, they are upset. When they see mother is better, they feel happy. But when they see mother is not moving from bed again, the last wasiyat of Mother Zahra to her daughter Zainab. Look what she told her Zainab. She gave her very old shirt. She said, Zainab, I'm not going to be in Karbala, but you will be in Karbala with Hussein. Zainab, Hussein will tell you what is the moment that you have given him this shirt. Let's go to Karbala. The last time that Hussein went to the Khiyam to say wida to his children and Zainab, he told Zainab, Zainab, bring that old shirt that my mother gave you. Why, Hussein? Because this mal'oon will take everything away from me. I don't want my body to be naked in front of these people on the ground. Imagine Hussein, the heart of Hussein and heart of Zainab. The last moment that Hussein is saying without Zainab. Hussein is walking a little bit towards Qatliga, looking back at Zainab and children, walking few steps back towards Qatliga. Hamid ibn Muslim, the narrator and the reporter of Bani Umayyah, said the last moment that Hussein was on the ground, with one corner of his eyes he was watching the Khiyam. He was watching the Nisa and women and children at that time, meaning that until I am alive, do not get close to my Khiyam. Meaning that I am still alive, don't get closer to my dog, to my sister Zainab. She already has all this masahib. Don't get close to my sister. Assalamu alaykum ya Aba Abdullah ya الأرواح التي حليت بفنائك. Of course, it's the musibat of mother. We should give the musibat of son as well. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعل والله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. All together inshallah. السلام Hassan. Close your eyes, go to Bayn al-Haramain and say this salam. Assalamu ala Hassan wa ala أولاد الحسن وعلى لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Inshallah في دعاء inshallah ذكر نصيبه الماضي. اللهم عجل وليك الفرج. Ya Allah, بحق الحسين بحق الزهراء, hasten in the door of our Imam Mahdi. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of our Imam. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, do not let anyone from our generation to be against the path of Islam and say the Zahra salamun alayha. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, anyone intentionally is hurting Islam and Muslims, send their evil back to themselves. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah. Those who are sick, heal them, and those who passed away, send the thawab and the world out of this masjid to their soul, inshaAllah.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein.